Thank you very much, Avali. Great to hear from Mahoney after he picks up a victory for Clutch Gaming against his old team in Echo Fox. Not the cleanest of games, though. Perhaps the messiest of the day. And so I really just want to dive straight into the gameplay. Let's pick this apart as we watch it play out. Ultimately, Clutch gets the victory, but there are a few moments where it looked real scary for them.
I think overall, I like both teams' team comp. You can see the obvious synergy here from Clutch, where you have the Camille to go in, you layer the Rumble ult on top of the Galio ult to lock people down inside this equalizer. And
one person's always dying.
Someone is always dying, but I like that on the side of Fox. They have someone that they're okay dying, and they still have pretty much 3 hyper carriers on their team. Ideally, either the Karthus, the Corki, and the Zaya are left alive. Two of those 3 should always be up to then turn these fights.
Yeah, without a doubt. Here we see one of these fights play out where I think one thing that I noticed within this game is an attribute that is very much inherent to a player like Huni and even Piglet for the side of Clutch Gaming. They're aggressive players, and so yes, they want to make plays, and a lot of times we see the first play working for Clutch, but then they overreach for just a little bit more, and that's what was allowing Fox to stay back in it.
Right, so for this Baron play right here, I actually really liked what Demonte did, but on the flip side of things, when you're checking Baron, you have to figure out who is there engaged, right? The Baron was at half health. They only saw 4 members on the Baron, so they know one person's missing. Who was that? Galio. So when you know that their engager is missing, you have to mark him, either by wards or slowly check the bushes. So the fact that Fox didn't keep track of where Galio was a huge downfall to them, because they're reaching a breaking point where they did enough damage so that they could survive and win the team fights. And had they not gotten that Baron right there, I think that game could have been totally different.
It felt like we were only a couple minutes away from Echo Fox's comp, just in general, out-damaging the likes of Clutch. And that returns to your point, Mark, about regardless of whether or not Clutch can kill one of the carries on Fox, there would still be 2 alive to pump out that damage, as long as they're given the time to make those items.
Yeah, plus with the Scion being a monster frontline, they had the opportunity to let that person come in. Scion gets in between Piglet and the rest of the back line, and you kill the frontline with your 2 remaining carries. The other problem with this game plan was Clutch just kept flanking with, like, Karthus was flanking, or Scion would try and hit the back line with an
Fox.
Or excuse me, Fox.
Yeah.
It's going to take me a little bit, given that these teams
They're basically swapped rosters.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
But that's actually the thing I wanted to talk about next, is the fact that both of these organizations had to have seen something in the opposing organization's roster to have said, yes, we will take that 3-man core from Clutch and make it the core of now Echo Fox. And similarly, Clutch had to have seen players from Fox and said, yes, there's growth potential there. So my question to you guys is, how do you, with 1 game's worth of evidence, feel about these 2 rosters, you know, on opposing organizations and maybe their prospects throughout the split? It doesn't have to be just isolated to today.
Well, first, with Piglet, I actually really like Piglet. I've played support before, and I've played versus him. Out of all the lane phases that I've ever played versus, I always feel like he created the most pressure. So when I see him do these plays where he flashes in and tries to, like, 1v3 him, I'm like, yes, you know? Because, like, when you're thinking of world champion players like Uzi and stuff like that, they make these plays where they're huge plays, where they will carry the team on their back and do things like that. And then if you don't try those things, you won't know when they work, and you won't have experience in doing it, and you'll be scared to do it in the future stages. So I like the fact that he's willing to do those things.
I agree on that point. The problem is I'm worried that they have too many of those kind of people who are willing to go for the big play, because Huni's willing to go for the big play, and Piglet's willing to go for the big play, and even Lyra goes for the big play a lot of the time. So, like, when you have 3 people going for the big play, it is very hard to consistently pull off those big plays. When it's just one guy and everyone's working to support that one guy, it works a lot better, which is what you see with Uzi, where there's basically 4 people supporting him. I don't think that's really the case with Clutch, but, I mean, this was a good win. Very, very scrappy and did not come easily. So I think both teams walk away with a lot to try and improve on.
Right, so for Fox, we still haven't seen much, right? It's been 1 game so far. I'm still excited to see if Phoenix can get back to form and rush to actually play something that isn't Karthus. It's not like it's not his play style, because he kind of likes going in, dying, and doing stuff, which is kind of what Karthus does, right?
He did it plenty this game.
He's not like a giant playmaker on Karthus, right? You saw him try to gank bot through lane. He dropped the wall and, like, well, what did that do? You know, it's not like a Lee Sin or something that's more of his style.
Right, you even called out his flank positioning on Karthus. Like,
yeah,
totally unnecessary. You have a Scion that can engage from the front, just follow him into the fight. But when I see him positioned in a flanking manner like that, that's when I go, oh, right, it's Rush. If he was on Lee Sin, then he would single-handedly win this team fight. It would make perfect sense. So I, as well, will be curious to see Rush on champions that we more
associate with playmaking.
With him as a playmaker. Now, we didn't show your guys' predictions earlier in the show, but they did make them. So I want to pull those up, see how you guys did here on the outset of the split. Oh my God!
I don't think I actually submitted this. So
I believe this is Photoshop.
I feel like they're just lying. Like they waited till the end of the day, so they saw everyone who lost. So they could give me a bagel to start the. I don't remember submitting.
You just keep talking, Mark.
I don't remember this.
I believe this is
Photoshop. Proof I submitted these.
I mean, here's the thing.
They were shown at the top of the day.
Last year we had some crazy predictions from week to week. Some days you guys would go 4-0 or 4-1 or 5-0, and other days it was completely reversed. So we're just starting off on a similar footing here with very volatile predictions.
I think I'm gonna take Mark's side on this. I don't really remember saying that or agreeing to those. I'm going with it as Photoshop.
I want to congratulate High though on taking one.
We're top tier analysts.
Your first official prediction correct. At least you got one. That was your first
front runner. He was the only one who at one point had 100% prediction rate here in the NAL.
The funny thing was, in rehearsal was like, is Mark my competition for predictions?
Not much competition, Mark.
Neither.
I don't know if we're that.
He has infinitely
I was only one behind him.
You're still behind.
Right now. All right, well, it's time for us to head off, but don't you worry because we got more LCS coming your way tomorrow. Up first, Optic Gaming and FlyQuest Clash, followed by Cloud9 versus 100 Thieves, and then 2 more matches before we wrap up the weekend with Echo Fox versus Golden Guardians. Taking a look at those 4 matchups tomorrow. Anything jump out to you in particular? Lane matchup, full-on team matchup?
Well, I'm just excited to see them play again, right? There's only been one game. It's really hard to create a story or anything based off of it. Like, we can't just be like, oh, this team is so bad or anything like that, right? So I'm just looking forward to seeing the players come out again and really see if they can, the people that lost, to see if they can win. Because the first week really sets the tempo, the pace of, like, the rest of their season. And if they're going into this 0-2, it's going to be a very rough thing.
Considering the 0-2 thought, Mark, I want to know your thoughts on Cloud9 versus 100.
That's what I was going to say is the game for me. It would have been it even if one had won, one had lost, whatever it was, just because I think that's the highest skill game on tomorrow's docket. But also just coming off 2 losses that I think for Cloud9, they had some good moments and some bad moments, but they obviously want to bounce back after going up against what most people think is the #1 team in Team Liquid. But 100 Thieves definitely struggled a little bit. So I think they're kind of inactive play style, winning lanes, not enough playmaking. I want to see them correct that, and it's a tough matchup to do that for in C9.
Yeah, without a doubt. What do you think might be the aspects of that matchup that it's hinged on, right? Because today we talked about mid-jungle for Cloud9 stacking up against Team Liquid's mid-jungle. But when you're looking across at Huhi instead of Jensen, all of a sudden I feel like those win conditions change. Your focus has to shift.
Right, so tomorrow in that game specifically, I'm looking forward to seeing Licorice versus Someday again, and then we have Bang versus Sneaky, right? Well, we saw that they cosplayed together in Vegas, so we'll have to see who the better cosplayer or AD carry in this case is.
Absolutely, we'll do just that tomorrow. Even though we're heading off, there's still more professional league to fully satiate your esports needs. Our good friends in Europe kicked off the LEC last week to great success and had a ton of amazing plays today. Most notably, you'll want to tune into the slugfest between Misfits and Vitality in Game 5. Don't miss out on the top-tier action. Now for myself, the casters, the entire live broadcast crew, thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow for more of the LCS. Good night. Team Liquid and Cloud9 will face off. To give us a preview of that clash, though, we're going to gather some thoughts from the casters.
Casters? Get out.
Yeah, go, Kobe, go, go, go!
Oh, hey, what's up, Kobe? Hey, how's it going?
From the man who invented the meme Sneaky in lane, double lift gets his kill. Sweep does land, and Niski should be able to clear!
Oh, nice. Oh, nice. Good shit.
Now Niski, dodging for Q, looking for Jensen! The Nexus turrets are up on the chopping block as well, and Double's gonna find one more kill on the Sneaky.
Keep in mind, I'm gonna be shouting during the game.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be.
Kevin, good job! Let's go, Kevin!
How good am I?
How good am I?
Does your ego feel sufficient to stroke?
Ole goes into the hourglass now. Definitely still looking to find the damage. He's gonna be slammed into the ground for first blood. Ole's gonna take some damage there. True shot barrage. Keeping himself safe for now. Leo's behind. Projection coming down, but Pobelter's looking to make his way behind. Here comes the flank. Here comes the taunt. Here comes the team fight. Golden Guardians are down. FlyQuest makes this their moment.
They still can't get the big reward, and Prudy's going in.
Speaking of high risk, Rush gets a whole lot of pain. If you go in at all, this could be a suicide.
Oh!
He gets it!
No vision, no flash.
Demonte's open. Demonte goes in for a massive multi-man.
I have never lost like
like first game of the regular season.
Stick day! Ooh, that's not a good spot for him to be in. Gonna jump up to buy a few more seconds, but over the wall's not gonna be enough.
Zino 5, Let's go, baby.
Maybe a double kill under the turret. Can't quite get the third.
Broken Blade, you good?
I'm good, yeah.
Okay.
You right?
Are you good for audio? Okay. Bjergsen's good, right?
Look at me. Okay. Look at BB, guys, look at BB. Nice. Let's go.
Victor.
Go slow.
I'm going on it.
Broken Blade going for the solo because he might actually have it someday. His pretty injured redemption comes in. And he's gonna dodge his own redemption.
Not too bad, there.